ब्रेक तो बाद ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ। ਕੇਂਦਰੀ ਫੂਡ ਪ੍ਰੋਸੈਸਿੰਗ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਹਰਸਿਮਰਤ ਕੌਰ ਬਾਦਲ ਨੇ ਵੱਧਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਦੂਸ਼ਣ ਤੇ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਜ਼ਾਹਿਰ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਚੱਲਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਡੇਰਾਬੱਸੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਫਾਰ ਲਰਨਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਦਘਾਟਨ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਹਰਸਿਮਰਤ ਕੌਰ ਬਾਦਲ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੋਏ ਨੇ। ਹਰਸਿਮਰਤ ਕੌਰ ਬਾਦਲ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਮੌਕੇ ਤੇ ਪ੍ਰਦੂਸ਼ਣ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਗਟਾਵਾ ਕੀਤਾ। थापर यूनिवर्सिटी दे LM थापर स्कूल ऑफ मैनेजमेंट दे विच सेंटर फॉर लर्निंग रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट का उद्घाटन करन पहुंचे हुए सन हरसिमरत कौर बादल।
I would say semi-urban as well as rural. So for you to think of how, with your knowledge, with your education, with your management entrepreneurial skills, how can you apply it to ensure that that farmer that you see the challenges that he faces. And I think one of the biggest challenges when we talk about the farmers is the weather gods, because yes, and Punjab is one of the most progressive farming states, but large parts of India, despite being in the 21st century, farming is largely done by bullocks and bullock carts. We have moved to tractors over here, but that's not the way it is in the rest of the country. When you look abroad, you see how scientific farming has become, where through technology, through science, you decide at what time the farmer needs to sow his seed, how many millimeters apart it should be, how many QCs of water each plant gets. I mean, that's how scientific farming has become, and we are still, as you look around, you know, the way farming is done in India. So there's a long way to go, and we look at the future generation for taking us to that long journey to catch up with the Western world. So when I talk about farming, we talked about Clean India is what Dr. Nair spoke about, showing all the smoke coming out of the industry. So I would say, Dr. Nair, a big challenge which I often have to answer back in Delhi is when the harvesting season comes and our farmers, after harvesting, they burn their straw, and that huge smog, where I live in one of the cities which is the most polluted city in practically the entire world, I would say. Now I think Delhi has even beaten all the other countries and all the other cities and become one of the most polluted cities in the world. And whenever that smog descends, which is around November, December, when all the straw is burned, everybody looks at me in the parliament and says it's Punjab that is to fault, which is at fault. And I tell them, no, there's Haryana, which is next to Delhi, not Punjab, is still far away. But no excuses. We need to find an alternative for the farmers, because they don't have the means to think of what alternative. They need to plow their next crop, and for that they need to burn their straw. So this management school and their students with their entrepreneurial skills, I hope they come up with some ideas which we could also educate our farmers to move from that, because having clean, fresh air, first thing we have to, because that's something which happens in bulk. You have that little one odd factory here, there, giving out the pollution. We need to look at that. But this is a huge pollution which in all the states, doesn't happen in Haryana and Punjab. When I go across India, it's happening in every state. Everywhere the farmers are burning their paddy straw. So if we can find a solution to that, I think it will go a long way in cleaning the environment. So these village outreach programs have actually turned out very popular, not just for the students to learn, but even for the villages in which they have gone and taught. I hope you also look into that kind of a model as well. I must say I have contributed in my little way with my Nanni Chha campaign, which is to save the girl child and save the environment, because I too believe that these two embodiments of nurturing, which is the girl child who becomes a mother and gives birth to life, and after taking life, if we humans stay alive, it's with the air that is purified by the trees, and that's how we learn to live and stay alive, with that oxygen which is given out by the trees. So these are the two most important things, is the plants and the girl child, which I've linked together in Nanni Chha. And we have in the last 4 years distributed almost 30 lakh saplings. And I'm happy to say that that's our little contribution that the NGO has done to ensure a clean India and a greener environment. And because the saplings are not distributed to anyone, it's there for anyone to come and take if they want. So I believe, and what my studies do show, that out of these 30 lakhs, most of them are taken care of by the people to ensure that they it becomes a nice green tree and is not forgotten about it, because something someone takes home to nurture, because it's a Bhuta Prasad as given in the form of a Prasad.